It's Halloween Eve, and we're out and about downtown on our way to the Art Center for a very special performance of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We go almost every year. It's one of my favorite events. First things first, we got our bevies. They had these cheeky names. Han got me some Jello shots. They were actually really strong. Of course, I got my prop bag with all the props that I'll need for the interactive show. I love to see everyone's outfits. It's one of my favorite parts. This was my little outfit. I have a vintage circa 2001 t-shirt, my little leather jacket, a pop of red heel, and I think my makeup turned out good too. So excited for the show! Time to go in and pick our seats. I'm hoping that we find the same ones from last year. And we did find the same seats from last year. Yay! I loved their hats. The crowd was definitely dressed for the event, and it was a sold-out night at the Pack. There was much excitement. Rocky Horror is an experience. Here's a little bit if you've never been.
What's on the slab? With anticipation.
So much fun. Then it was time to rehydrate at one of our favorite casual spots. I love how they have their menus in these game boxes. The food is pretty standard, bar fare, appetizers. They got pizza. It's good. But where they really shine is their cocktails. Not only do they have fun names like the Hobbit Hole Toddy, they are always expertly blended, expertly made. Love the cocktails here. I went with the Flower Ball, which is a spicy tequila base, and Han went with whiskey. It's very chill. They have these game rooms you can rent out. Round 2, and we also had a pizza. The cast from Rocky Horror had their after party here. It was so fun to see them. And got to take a picture with my friend, Dr. Frankenfurter. We came back home and we tried to share some of the magic and some of the Rocky vibes with Hildy.
Hildy's proudest moment.
She was not having it.
She rejects that.
Today is Halloween, and there are some creepy happenings around the neighborhood. I went out to investigate. Our neighbors were hard at work on their Halloween display that they do every year. It's a hit in the neighborhood. Can't wait to see it later. This was our cozy little setup. Really not much, just like a beacon for the trick-or-treaters to know that we have candy. KUTX was bringing it with the spooky vibes though. Loved their mix. Here's all our candy. And right around dusk, trick-or-treaters begin. We love this tradition. We were talking about how not too long ago we were the kids knocking on doors and getting candy, and now we're the adults giving out the candy. The kids were so cute. These Sonics actually also had a trick for us. They did this little jump from the stairs. It was adorable. We were also visited by a ninja who was ready to show off her awesome skills. Here she is. I love hyping the kids up. They get so excited. Hildy, however, is not excited to have visitors constantly knocking on her door. The cutest little princesses. Once trick-or-treating slowed down a little bit, we went down to check out our neighbor's display. They put a lot of work into transforming their whole front yard into a very spooky, eerie, ghostly place. There are lights and effects and animatronics that just pop out. This guy really got me. We visited with them for a little bit, and they sent us back with some Coors Banquet. Thanks, neighbors. We ended Halloween with more Rocky Horror.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting.
Okay, after all that scariness, it's time to make a scary easy, scary good red wine pasta sauce. First things first, get my mandil. These are the ingredients that we will need. I ended up using 3 carrots instead of 2. And here's the red wine I'm using. We need a good red like a Chianti, Sangiovese, or Pinot Noir. And here's my secret ingredient, delicious bacon fat drippings. No worries if you don't have them. All our ingredients gathered, we're ready to start. We're going to finely dice our veggies and finely chop our garlic. Saute our garlic for about 3 minutes. I'm using olive oil and bacon fat. After about 3 minutes, we're going to add our mirepoix mix, so our carrots, celery, and onion. Adding salt after mixing for about a minute or 2. After about 8 to 10 minutes, our mirepoix mix should look like this, with our onions nice and translucent. Now it's time to add the meat. I have 1 pound ground beef, 1 pound ground pork. You don't need that much, but I am making a lot of sauce, and yes, you do need the pork. We're going to season that with salt, pepper, oregano, and very finely chopped parsley. You want your parsley to look like this. I love my electric grinder. And I love to heavily season my food. That's just the way that I cook. We're going to brown our meat on medium-high heat for about 15 minutes, making sure that we break down any chunks like this that we see. Then it's time to add our tomato paste, crushed tomatoes, and our delicious, fragrant, ruby red wine. I use a whole bottle and I make no apologies. I like to use the Cento crushed tomatoes. This is the 1 pound can, and they freeze really well. So I have these in my freezer. For tomato paste, you'll need about 1 tablespoon. After adding our tomato paste, crushed tomatoes, and wine, now we add a few sprigs of fresh thyme. Side note on storing herbs, this has worked really well for me. You just take your leftover herbs, in this case, rosemary and thyme, you take a paper towel, you fold it up and roll it up. I feel like that could be a rap song, by the way. Fold them up and roll them up. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, so I've had these in my freezer for about 2 months now, and they have held up beautifully. This hack really works. We're going to add salt after adding our thyme, and we're going to make sure that incorporates really well. Now it's time to put the lid on, and we're going to cook this on medium heat for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Hun was very helpful with the cheese. And while the pasta sauce simmered, I went ahead and made us a really quick lunch for the next couple days with some pantry items, some Thai green curry paste, and coconut milk. I had drumsticks in my freezer, so I sauteed those with some onion, garlic, salt, pepper, lemongrass. Then I added the curry, the coconut milk, and as a last step, some lime juice. It was so good. Our pasta sauce has been simmering for 3 hours now. Absolutely gorgeous, as Her Majesty, the pasta queen herself, would say. The garlic, the fragrant herbs, the richness of the wine, all beautifully blended together. You can tell from my plating that I'm not trained in the culinary arts. I'm just a home cook who enjoys making delicious meals for my little family and trying to make my grandmother proud. I'm very proud of this pasta sauce. It is superb. Here's a bite for you. With the flurry of activity earlier in the week, when Saturday rolled around, we didn't feel like doing much. Hun brought out the old Nintendo, and I just sat back and relaxed watching him quest away. With my big bowl of Halloween candy and party music in the back, it was a Saturday night well spent. It's Sunday morning. The sun is shining, and there's a beautiful breeze coming in. But I was distracted by these two acting very suspicious.
What's back here? Huh? What do you have back here? Let me see.
Behind the TV stand, treasure. Their little cache of everything they've stolen.
Your stash?
Potato was not pleased. She'll find another spot. My morning coffee delivery. Hun has been making coffee for us since we've been together. I love our little rituals. He went out for errands and came back with flowers for me. Lilies are some of my favorite. We have this beautiful patch in our front yard, and I always miss it in the winter months. Here they are a couple days later. Aren't they so pretty? It's the little things. Like coming home with this bunch of guavas for me. I grew up in a tropical place in Mexico, and I was talking about how much I miss them. A few days later, Hun comes home with this delicious, juicy batch. It was so good, and my home was fragrant for days.
Outside? Outside?
Sunday always means outside time for the cats. They get very excited. Well, except for someone.
It's good for you, Miawalin.
Good job, Fluffer.
She was eventually convinced. And of course, much praise is needed for being so brave.
Oh, what a brave kitty.
Potato loves running in the leaves. And she inspired me to do the same. It's time to start raking up all of the leaves into neat little piles that we will leave out for all of our pollinator friends that winter in them. Potato is ever curious. She is always investigating or after something or starting something. Miawalin is standing guard by the leaf piles. She knows helping our pollinator friends is important. This is one of my favorite plants in the garden. Most of the year it's green, but in autumn it transforms. It's like the entire color palette of autumn in one beautiful plant. It looks like it's aflame. The poplar has made its transition as well. All of the leaves have shed. During this time, the garden can bring out a sort of melancholy in me. I was admiring this beautiful little rosebud, the last one of the season. I thought about how hard the plant worked to create it, not knowing the first frost is just around the corner. One of our nectarine trees. Over the summer, it was so heavy with fruit that some of the branches snapped off. Here we are in the middle of harvest. The fruit was juicy and syrupy sweet. And now, these are all that remain. Our neighbor dog is still not used to the cats. Hildy thinks it's rude. We also have this poor little persimmon. It's been on the struggle bus since we moved in. Last year we had a really bad frost and its trunk just totally split. And the year before that was bad, and the year before that. Hopefully next year, persimmon. I love this little Japanese maple. I read somewhere that a knotted trunk means good luck. I like to think it's true. These trees are almost done with their transition. There's hardly any summer greens left. How quickly the seasons change. And that's it for this video. Thank you for spending your time with me, friend. Take care, okay? Bye.